Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Julio Olivos. I'm studying business administration, master of business administration and Kaplan Business School. And I'm doing this video as part of my first assessment in the consumer behavior course, which I'm going to explain the 5 steps in the decision-making process, what I've learned, and how I put this into my real life. The first step is the need to buy a product. It could be either a want or a need. In my particular case, I think it could be both. I was talking about a laptop. Is the purchase that I made. It could be a need because my previous laptop is 7 years older, so I'm looking for a new one with a better features such as portability, design, performance. And also I could say it is a want because I could easily do some of my tasks that I was planning to do, such as writing some documents, browsing on the internet, watching videos. That's why I'm saying that it could be both want or a need because it could be fancy as well. The second step is information search. I would like to divide this into 3 steps. The first step is I started to look this information in my hometown. Unfortunately, their resources were so limited, no such a lot of places to look for. So I decided to expand my market, and that's the second step. Searching on the internet, you have more options to find several resources, several places. And the last one is I contact some of my friends because some of them were planning to back to Peru. So I was planning to make the most of the trip so they can bring me the laptop and I pay here. So it was the last option that I had. This is the second step, the ways how you are looking for information about your purchase or your product. And the third one is evaluation of alternatives. I would like to mention 3 things here. The first thing is I reduced my searching market to only 2 competitors, Microsoft and Apple. Microsoft because I remember since I had my first computer, the system operation was Microsoft, so I am familiar with it. And the second is Apple because one of my uncles gave me an iPad for my birthday. It was a present, so I was trying to discover a new features, a new device, new gadgets. So and also I like its operation system. The third one is I was planning to travel to Australia, so I said I'm going to put on a standby my purchase because probably in Australia I will find more alternatives, more options. I was sure of that. And when I was here in Australia, I was really also lucky because Apple Store, Microsoft Store were so close from my English school that I remember I spent every single day, 1 hour per day in both stores, looking for the products, reviewing it, touching them. This is a good also for them. They let you touch or review the product to finally make your decision. The customer service was really good in both cases. Both of them helped me a lot. And this I could find a difference between these 2 products. In Apple, for example, price is so expensive. It's so expensive. In Microsoft, you can find prices for different kind of population, from the less expensive to the more expensive. This is one thing. The other thing is, for example, Microsoft. Microsoft has more applications than Apple because if you can find one that met your requirements, you can look for a new one, and that finally will fit your needs. This is one thing. Apple is so restricted, and also you need to pay for some of them. The third thing is design and portability. Microsoft has its portability is good, but definitely Apple, if you combine design with portability, is so amazing. I think it's worth it. These things, and also I was planning to take to make my decision in a long term because it's a huge investment that I was planning to have at least 5 years. Based on these things, I was looking for 2.5 months. It was, I think, it was a big time, but finally I made my decision. The fourth step is purchase decision, and finally I made my MacBook from Apple because probably in the things that I mentioned you in the past, one of them was the portability and design, was is really good, and the second is probably the most important thing is the environment. It's incredible how Apple's culture has becoming strong here in Australia. Every people have iPhone, MacBook, iPad or earphones, any kind of Apple gadget. So it's so amazing how strong is that. That I think was one of the main reasons to buy it. A reputation, as a status, as the environment. And finally, we have the fifth step that is purchase evaluation. I could say that I'm not completely satisfied with my purchase. It means I'm satisfied 80% of it. I think it's a huge percentage. There are some things that I think Apple could be improved, such as operation system. For example, one thing that I had was I upgraded my operation system for a better one. I thought that. However, I realized that some operation system has bugs, and not necessarily the latest one is better than the former one. So I was almost 1.5 suffering with my headset, with my mouse, and I thought the problem was from my laptop, but no, it was from the operation system. It could be a small issue, but at the end, it has a big importance for you. But at the end, I could say it was only just I don't remember exactly, but now it's fixed. I'm not planning to upgrade it anymore. Well, at least for now. But again, I could say 80% is a good rate. Well, that's all. Thank you.